Hello there, hi, and welcome to V News, the news where the truth will set you free. Your homes. In our section of UG Space with my colleagues Yadira Nieto and Guadalupe del Carmen, we will discover the message of our interviewees about two major impacts on the school community, the pandemic and another one. Come with us to discover it.
And welcome to the Space UG. I am Yadira.
I am Lupita.
On this occasion, has a guest the teacher Leopoldo Joya Tellez, who will tell us about the impact of a new academic stage. Guanajuato has taken different measures for care towards the community to be about to comfortable the situation safely.
There are research projects to deal with COVID-19 information for measures regarding the pandemic. There is an online chat for community.
Faced with the contingency, the University of Guanajuato has taken different measures of care towards the community to be able to comfortable the situation safely. Faced with the contingency, the University of Guanajuato has taken different measures of care towards the community to be able to comfortable the situation safely.
There are research projects to deal with COVID-19 information for measures regarding the pandemic. There is an online chat of the community. There are projects made physical and mental health and among other tools. Hi, teacher.
Hi.
Let's start. From your position as a teacher, do you consider that the students are prepared for this academic change?
Well, I really don't know because it's sometimes it's a big change, and it depends on the school. For example, I think that the biggest change is when you're in a private high school and you go to a public university. That's a big change. Okay, but for example, I think that it won't be such a big change for you that are in a public high school. Okay, I think you are well prepared for any university that you want to go.
Okay. Entering a university is as stressful as they say.
I want to say no, they are exaggerating, but it may be as stressful as people say. Um, I know that's not the answer you wanted to hear, but yes, it's a little bit stressful, especially because at that age, maybe one just don't know how to organize himself or herself. Okay, it's a lot about organization, but yes, for example, there was a time when I was at college and I slept only 4 hours a day, so yes, it was a little bit stressful. But the thing here is that you sometimes get to enjoy the stress, as odd as that may sound. Okay.
Well, in your opinion, what would you have liked to have been told before entering university?
I think don't be afraid to use your time for the classes. For example, I just wanted to return home when I was at college, and I was like, no, I don't want to go to go out so late or to finish classes so late. So I started to take classes only in the morning or something like that. And at the end, that wasn't so good because I had to take the credits. So don't be afraid to do extra activities to enroll in, yes, in other activities, whether they are sports, they are like maybe student groups or something like that. Don't be afraid to do that. It will help you a lot. Okay, so do more than only the classes. Okay. more activities, more, yes, get enrolled in all the activities that you can.
Okay. It is our teacher. Thank you for the time.
Okay, you're welcome. I hope that it was helpful for you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So take care. Bye.
Finally, we have as guest the student Raúl González Tejeda, who will talk to us about the mental impact that the pandemic had on young people. Hi, Raúl.
Hello there.
Hi. How have you taken this new modality?
Well, for me, it's been complicated because right before the isolation, I had some plans that was to meet with very people, so much people. So before this, I could do them, but now it's impossible. And about my school, it's even more complicated because I'm in psychology. So everything is about people, talking to people and being with them, watching them. And when I'm in the computer talking like I'm right now, I lose almost information that cannot be replaced in any way. So for me and my career, it's really, really hard.
Okay. Now, do you consider that what the university has proposed since the beginning of the pandemic until now has been the most appropriate for such a situation?
I can be so sure because I don't really like this modality, and I know the university does everything they can, but at the same time, it's not enough. So I think they do their best, but their best is not enough. So I think that's it. Um, did I answer your question?
Yes.
Do you think teachers have coped with education online?
Well, it depends on, as I told you, this is psychology, so everything is about people. When we watch things about, for example, kids, it's like kids do this, and this, but we can see them. It's strange to talk about kids and just talk about them. It's like "Ooh, they're close, they're far away, even with any kind of people. For me, my teachers do their best, and there are classes that it's enough just with their best in this modality, but there are classes that it is simply not enough to be in a computer because we need to see people, to talk to them and see how they react. Mm, for example, I take a class about technology. There's no problem with that because it's technology, but I have class about older people, and it's like, mm, okay, they say they do this, but I can see them doing this. Mm, that's what I think.
What recommendations would you give the students so that they can deal with the situation in the best possible way?
Well, it's complicated. Obviously, I have to think about it. Um, I think the best solution is to know the platforms. For example, Google, Microsoft Teams has so many applications and tools that can be used in our favor. The problem is that even if we know how to use them, many teachers don't use them, so there's not really a reason to be there. Um, I think that's the best option we have to really get to know these platforms. If it's Google Classroom or Teams, I think they have really really good ways to be used, but we don't really use them. For example, we are having this conference, and it's okay. But when I'm in class, I see moments where I say, "Oh, we could do this and this and this." So, well, I think that's a very good solution. But for every student, I think it's complicated because everyone has their point of view and their lights and their house and their internet. So I can give something more specific because, well, I can't think about it now.
That was all for us. Thank you for your time and your attention.
Yeah, no problem. See you later.
Bye.
In our Red Note section, a tragic event happens in Mexico that will awaken the sadness and protest of the citizens. And in the international scene, an event of rebellion takes place in a country of the continent. Let's go with my colleague Alexandra Rojas.
In other news, in Mexico, a terrible accident happened. This Monday, May 3rd, at least 25 people died and 79 were injured when a section of an elevated track collapsed on Line 12 of the Mexico City. Everything happened around 10 p.m. local time between the Olivos and Tizonco stations. The head of government of Mexico City, Claudia Sheinbaum, said on Tuesday that the collapse of the train was due to the fall of one of the huge pillars that support the elevated train, but said that the expert reports will shed more details on what happened. Everything seems to be that this is the deadliest accident in decades in the metro system of the Mexican capital, one of the busiest in the world.
In our gossip section, the most scandalous attitude of the last days in the voice of my colleague Denia Shostan, who will also share with us the latest news from the social section. We are with you, Denia.
In gossip section, Juan Pazurita launches a watermark and it is criticized for exploding springs. Juan Pazurita launches a brand of bottled water and it is accused on social networks for exploding springs and calling himself as a scientist. The actor and influencer unveiled a new project in which he is involved. Water people. Bottled water directly from the spring. According to Zurita, his bottled water brand has a plus over those already on the market, since it is not purified but pure. He pointed out that the idea of creating his own brand of water came from a research he conducted, where he discovered that most of the waters for sale are treated, so they do not provide the body with the minerals it needs. So he decided to do something, and that was the beginning of Water People. The news has caused outrage in social network scenes. Internet users believe that this venture will exploit Mexican springs in times of droughts. If you want to buy it, you can find it at OXXO and 7-Eleven too. You who see us from house, what do you think about this? Would you buy it? In other news, Colombian artists raise their voice in the face of their country's crisis. Several Colombian artists have raised their voice to show their disagreement with the way of the government is handling various issues, such as the tax reform, the murder of social leaders, and public spending. The singer Shakira is one of the artists who broke the silence about the situation in Colombia, and she demanded that the government take urgent measures and stop the violation of human rights. Another to raise his voice was the singer Juanes, who on Tuesday made a call on his Twitter account for calm, peace, and care for life, and also highlighting that he very much regrets what is currently happening in Colombia. Another of the artists to speak out is the Colombian J Balvin, who despite have manifested in previous days on Instagram. decided to do it again this Tuesday through Twitter to repudiate the deaths registered in the last hours. But not only Colombian artists are applauded for raising their voices. This is the case of the singer Maluma. He says that there are other forms of manifestation. Let's see what the singer said.
Parece una cagada, todo el sentido de la palabra. Los vándalos salieron a la calle a hacer lo que hicieron ayer y esa no es la forma. Esa no es la forma, mi gente. Yo creo que hay maneras de protestar. La mejor manera de hacerlo es de una manera pacífica. Y lo único que estamos haciendo ahí es poner el dedo en la herida y
After that, all the social networks exploded with the news. What do you think about Maluma's posture? Ava Hostel shows its gratitude to musicians. In Celaya, the Ava Hostel made a delivery of entries to reciprocate the support they have received from local musicians. Aware that the artistic sector has been affected by the pandemic since it does not allow them to make presentations and this affects their economy. ABBA wanted to provide them with support with which it wishes to express the appreciation and gratitude they have for these talented young people.
And for you athletics passions, in Cherries of my college Melissa, we have the sports section. How the current circumstances have been for athletics and the impact of exercise on our young people. We listen to you, Meli.
Hi everybody, this is the Sports Sessions and we begin. Young people are mainly the most affected by having a more productive day due to the school and extra activities that UE offers us. Staying constant and disciplined by taking the corresponding measures has been a responsible and accepted task, as the school already knows. Sports classes are many events that were organized were completely cancelled. This is understand that a recognition for moving forward and finding positive things in so many tragedies. The young of the high quarantine continue to exercise and cultivate their health. At the same time, and who do not have the habit, they are invited to participate in a class of physical activation, transmit week after week by Facebook in the morning and the afternoon. This is all this. Thank you for all and see you the next program.
This is all from us. We hope you have a nice evening and we say goodbye. We are news. We are your trust news. Be news.